Well, let me welcome everybody to the conversation. We thank you all for coming on, and we have a new guest. Her name is Katina, artist. So Katina, can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we go on?
Hi, I'm Katina. And I'm a people person. I love talking. I have the gift of gab. I don't know. I'm just a positive, upbeat person.
Okay, wonderful. I met Katina at the Juneteenth affair, and she was just a joy to talk to. So I'm thankful that you're on. Okay, Kaylin, she will start as far as the rules of engagement during our conversation. Kaylin?
Okay, please use the hand signal on your computer or phone if you would like to add to the conversation. We should be respectful and not talk over one another. Please understand that everyone may not agree with the opinions of others. However, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Therefore, it is perfectly fine to interject your thoughts as long as it does not turn into a debate or argument. We value and respect one another, even though we may not agree with each other. The time for this talk session seems to be less than what we have in the discussion of our topics. Therefore, we ask that you limit your turn to speak to 1 to 2 minutes. It will give others who would like to say something about the subject a chance to speak. During each conversation, we will give those who are new an opportunity to introduce themselves. Topics are prepared for the captivating conversations. Therefore, we ask that you answer the questions that are being discussed. However, if you type your question in the chat box, and if time permits, we will certainly make accommodations for your question because of the time frame we are working within. If anyone on the panel has business or talent you would like to share with others to promote you or your business, please let us know about it. And we will be happy to feature you as one of our exceptional entrepreneurs. We believe in supporting one another to help promote health, wealth, and better lives for our families and communities.
Okay, so we're doing something new. I just feel like I'm not the only one that will be featured on this conversation. Although I'm going to plug my book, which is the Ice Cream Sundae Marriage. This is the new edition. And Tiffany will be reading some of the passages, well, actually not passages, but some of the words from this book that we're going to be talking about. Now, as far as entrepreneurs are concerned, I really want everybody to understand that we are a community and we should support one another. If you have, just like Tony and Kachi, they have, Tony has a food truck. That's what he does. And he is great. The food truck is awesome. So Tony, I want you to come on. We'll start it not next week, because next week we will not be here because of the holiday. But the week after, every single time we come on, please let me know ahead of time so that I can feature, so you can be featured. We're going to give you at least 1 or 2 minutes to tell about your business, what you do, if you have a talent, so that others will know about you. I'm just not the only one on this platform. So I just want everybody to understand that we are in this together. We're going to help each other get to the other level, okay? So now, we are going to start out with the topic, and it is temptation, okay? Everybody, and who's married on the panel right now? Katina, are you married?
No.
Okay, so it's Tony and Kachi, Lisa, Kim, and Pat. Okay, everybody else. So one way or another, either on the job or at church or just in passing, there's temptation. I don't care if you're married or you're single. If you're married, there's still temptation, because there are other people who really are nice looking, and it's no harm in looking. The harm is in touching or going to the next level. Okay, that's the harm. So the temptation is, why, first of all, are you tempted to do what we do? Because, just be honest, everybody, and we're just here to be honest with one another. There have been times, I believe, in everybody's lives that at some point you see someone that's attractive. You're not going to go there, but it's an attraction. So why is there that attraction? Is it because that person is really looking good, or is there something else that's pulling you away that you're not getting at home? The book that I wrote, I added some more things to it. So Tiffany, would you please read?
Yes. Okay. Once you decide to get married, be mindful to keep up your appearance. If your man liked you the way that you kept your body in shape while you were dating, don't become a slouch once you say I do. Too often, people get comfortable in being around each other once the rings are secured on the fingers. You will know when the honeymoon is over. There will sure to be signs that you can easily identify. You may begin to hear weird noises that you did not hear while you were dating. If you heard that undeniable sound of him or her passing gas during the get to know you stage, you immediately said, "Excuse me." Then you tried your best to fan the smell away before it reached the nose of your beloved. Now you think it is funny to you as you raise your leg like a dog and let out the loudest, most foul-smelling odor another human being can endure without passing out. During dinner, excuse me, during dinner, if you felt the urge, sorry, excuse me, during dinner, if you felt the urge to burp, you politely turned your head and covered your mouth. Afterwards, you said, "Excuse or pardon me." Now you chew with your mouth open and scoff down your food with one gulp. Then you wash it down with a beverage that has a lot of fizz, which is sure to cause you to burp. What comes next? A belly gusher of a burp that can be heard from New York to Nova Scotia. Your poor wife, bless her soul, holds her hairstyle in place while there hasn't been a time that the air released from your gut has yet to leave a single curl on her head. During the honeymoon stage, you made sure to take a shower or at least brush your teeth, washed your face and hands, and put on some clothes before you entered the kitchen to cook or eat. Now the comfort level you feel being married for all of 2 whole weeks has given you a pass to let it all hang out. Your spouse turns his or her head before you can say the letter H in "Hi, honey." Why? Because they know morning breath is the worst breath one can have. Therefore, why subject anyone to a lifetime of foul smells and unpleasant sounds during your marriage? Just taking a couple of extra minutes to look and smell good for your mate is all it takes to keep your ice cream marriage delicious.
So that's what happens when you get comfortable in a marriage sometimes. And am I right or wrong? I mean, just let me know if I'm wrong now. Okay. Why is that though? And let me tell you, Cheryl is not on it, and y'all give her a little prayer because her son was just admitted to the hospital. Yeah, so she couldn't be on. But Cheryl is the one woman who I know, she is one of those 1950s, 40s kind of wife where she does not go to bed. She'll tell anybody, and her ex-husband will tell you that. She will not go to bed with a roller in her head. She wears these glamorous nightgowns to bed, okay? That's the kind of, that's how she keeps herself. She said her mother taught her that. Never let your husband see you looking out of place. So we're gonna talk about that. Why is it? Because sometimes temptations on the job is because the home is a little wrecked up a little bit. So we're gonna talk about that. Can anybody, Robin, you're laughing. Lisa, you're laughing. I mean, Kim, all of you all. So it must be something there that made you laugh. So tell me what it is. Tony, Kachi, anybody.
I laugh because I'm thinking that most of the time when people date, they said they have their representative initially. So, we always are on our best behavior. Just like, when you're little, you go to church, your mom is telling you, you're in your best behavior. And then as you get more comfortable, you kind of let loose. Doesn't mean it's right, but we do let loose. So sometimes even in marriages or friendships, you get a little comfortable, sometimes too comfortable. And sometimes that comes with because that's your spouse, your lover, but it's also your friend. And with friends do certain things around each other, get comfortable around each other. So that I'm just laughing because I know Keith reminded me saying that's my brother. And that's Steve.
Oh, that was Steve.
You know, Steve, and I'm saying my brother used to do that as well.
Okay.
Some of the things you mentioned, so that's why I'm laughing because I know stuff like that constantly. But
okay, see, she didn't tell me that. Keith never told me that.
He's done it around me. Put it that way. I don't know if he's done it around me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why I'm laughing. Sometimes when we are dating, you know, our representative is there. We're on our best behavior, you know, and sometimes, you know, again, you know, but that person when you want that person to become your best friend.
We lost you, Robin, a little bit. Okay.
Yeah,
we lost you, Robin. Okay, well, listen to this. Let's go to the job. Well, no, let me ask Tony and Kachi. Can you speak to that? You're on mute.
Sure.
Okay, I'm sorry.
For most of you guys, if you've been on the call and you've listened to my husband, Tony, he has no filter for the most part. So even when dating, he, you know, sometimes, usually, you know, you wait till after the honeymoon's over to let your true self show. So he came with his representative, Robin. He came with that person. So I'm sure within our dating, I heard, smelled, you know, whatever. So he was passing gas from the beginning. So, you know, he keeps it real. So he didn't wait till after the honeymoon was over.
It was just there, right? Okay.
You know, some people again try to. I always like being more discreet about it. You know, excuse me. You know, the little lady thing. Of course, now you know we've been married, you know, almost 15 years now. So but anyway, as far as sometimes come as you are. You don't have to save it to after you get married and at the honeymoon. But I mean, that's one thing I love about him. He's no filter. You get what you get. This is Tony. And there you go.
It's being direct, being honest. I mean, I'm in the bed. I'm sorry. How that happened? She would get. I gotta go to the bathroom. Come on, we've been married 15 years. It's okay. It's light. It's natural. It's a body odor. It's okay to get over it.
Well, he says he doesn't smell, but you know.
Okay, so it's that comfortable. You get that comfortable with each other that it's okay. Is that what you're saying?
As comfortable as it gets. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. You know, we're married. We're one. So you know, maybe some other people, but for me, it's a natural thing. I can't have it. It's natural.
Right.
Sometimes I need to get up.
You don't get up.
I said there is no need to get up. I don't.
Okay. Okay.
There's more room outside than inside. So.
Gotcha.
I just think like Tony and his wife were saying that that's just natural, the passing gas and things like that. But I think when you get to the part where you don't want to take baths for days and things like that, now that's an issue. But the natural thing, burping, that's just gonna happen regardless. But like I said, when you get to the point you don't want to take a bath, either something may be going on depression or you just lazy, straight out lazy. Now that's when we got a problem because you know we got body odor going on. That's a turn off. So then therefore that's where it might come in where temptation may come strong where a young lady may come by and she's smelling good or vice versa, a man coming by and their cologne just like, whoa. So that's why I think it comes in. I think that shower when not taking baths and just letting yourself just go. Yeah. Now with the burping and stuff, that's just natural.
Right. Okay.
I agree with you, Kim, on that one.
Yeah. Katina, can we hear from you?
I think I really do think you can't. I don't think you can stop temptation. I think it's innate for you to just be attracted to someone. It's the fact of you acting on it. I think that's the main thing, because you're going to be tempted, whether it's their personality, it's their swag, or what have you. I just think it's just part of being a human being. It's just innate. It's just the action. I think that is going to determine, what's going to happen at that point. It's about self-control.
Okay. Well, this is another part of the book. It says, a man or a woman at your spouse's job may have his or her eye on your sweetie. When the aroma at work becomes sweeter than the aroma at home, you may find yourself in a soured situation. Once you allow the romance to sour, it may require a whole lot of sugar to sweeten it back up again. If it has soured like a lemon, trust God to make lemonade out of the poisoned peels. That's what you do when you get tempted. Now, has anyone, and let's be honest, single and married, have you ever been tempted at a job with someone else, or has someone else come on to you? And if they did, what did you do about it? Hello?
For me, I don't have men that work on my job, but years ago, before I was married, yes, I have had that to happen to me, but I wasn't married, but I know I did not take on.
You didn't act upon it. Okay, anyone else?
Well,
Tony and then Carlos. Tony was first and then Carlos.
I believe that we all get tempted, but it's whether we carry that act out. I mean, whether if you see it, you get tempted, and the same thing, it happened both ways. But the thing about it is, for me, I mean, yes, it has happened on my other job. People came in, and it just happened a couple weeks ago, and the lady came up, she was talking, and she was asking me some other questions. I knew that I felt like I knew where she was going. Then I said, you know what, my wife, she loved flounder fish. And she said, Lord, she said, you just messed up. And I was like, I said, what happened? And she said, I was hoping you wasn't married. I said, but no, I am. I'm happily married. And so the next week she ended up caught. She said, oh, that's that. She said, I met your wife, but it's when that when it's happening, just bring up your spouse. Somebody, I have a partner. And a lot of times people get it and they understand.
Now that's one thing I can say about Tony from the get-go. I mean, he's like a brother to me, but he has always, I don't care who it was, any woman that comes and you could tell that they liked him, he would always bring up Kachi, my wife, which was just the best thing ever. I mean, he always does that, which is admirable. It really is. So, Carlos?
Piggybacking off of what Tony said and what you even said, I've even in my past relationships, I haven't had lemons, I've had grapefruits. And if anyone doesn't like grapefruits, they know how grapefruits taste. So that being said, in the field that I am with my job, it was a known thing of do not fraternize with anyone at work, because it's that very, very fine line of what we call sexual harassment. And especially in the government or any private like law firms or whatever, they take that very, very seriously, and they do not like fraternization. So, and piggybacking off of what you said earlier, what Tiffany was reading about, I was on a date, and since we're being transparent, and we were out at a restaurant. The young lady was looking nice and everything else like that. she was partaking of an alcoholic beverage, and then she burped like a sailor, and everyone in the restaurant turned and looked in our direction. Basically, what I did, and I know this might have been wrong, I paid for the meal. I called the waiter over, talked to him private, paid for the meal, and asked the waiter to call her a cab, and I left.
You didn't even take her home?
No, you do not embarrass me that way. I mean, the way she burped, it was like, if anyone is familiar with certain movies, you remember the movie Revenge of the Nerds, and it was a character named Booger? The way he burped, that's how she burped. Yep. And she got left right there.
Was she trying to be funny?
No, it was. She just let it go, and I was like,
was she drunk?
No, that's the thing about it. She was somewhat PJ-ish. Yeah, she was PJ-ish.
Yeah. What's PJ?
Projects.
Oh, okay.
Straight projects.
Now, wait a minute now. There are no labels, okay? We don't do that here. So,
well, put it this way. Well, in essence, she did not turn the etiquette switch on.
Okay.
It's not like the restaurant we were at was 5-star, but it was a nice enough restaurant where a lady does not do that. Now, this is something I was taught by my father. I don't hold anything against women. Some women, if you partake of beer, for some reason, it's something about, I do not like seeing a woman drink beer out of a bottle. I'd rather see them drink it out of a glass. But that's just me. But if you want to take it to the head, go ahead, knock yourself out. I'm not going to be mad at you. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of, to me, it looks a little bit more sexier than if a woman is drinking her beer out of a glass.
Out of a glass, yeah. Well, that's your preference. Absolutely. And again, everybody has their preference, their opinions. However, it may be that she, of course, I'm not saying that she didn't have the etiquette. Maybe she never had the etiquette class. But again, that burping, that was just natural for her, of course. It may have been, so. But let me just ask this question to the panel. Do you think that was appropriate for him to do that? Or could he have just said, how would you all have handled that?
I wouldn't go.
Okay.
That was our first and only date. I mean, that would be it.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
We would have probably gone through the date, but that would have been it. That would have just been one of those red flags that, for me. I would continue on, but it wouldn't be a second date.
No, if he had called the cat.
Oh, if he had called the cat? Oh, well.
Well, I wasn't going to leave her stranded. But it's just that's just like with, I know some women like a good smelling man, but if you're smelling like OD funk,
right,
a woman is not going to be wanting to stand next to you.
Right.
I mean, it's like if she smells your odor and the hairs in her nose are curling, you're going to want to, okay, hey, bruh, it's time to, partake of that Old Spice, something, shower,
Well,
everything.
That's just like what Kim said. It is a turnoff when you are with someone and there's body odor and everything else. So how do you handle that though? Let's say you're with someone and you really like that person, but that day they had a problem, maybe whatever, but the body odor was there. Do you tell them? Hello, anybody?
Well, I'm asking the men on the
No,
panel.
wait a minute. Hold on, Carlos, because I need other people to partake of this conversation.
Diane's got his
That's the question.
Yeah.
Who did? Okay.
Robin and
Robin.
James.
Yeah, James been had his up.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
James.
Let's go to James. Let's go to James.
Well, to answer your question, first off, you should definitely tell that person, because what you want to know is that if you tell that person how they're going to respond, because once again, that's something you need to know early on in the relationship, because that's a form of communication. So I would definitely say something to them and then kind of pay attention to how they react to what I just said. Something else, I raised my hand to say something that I learned years ago. I'm a very observing type person, and I remember I was a young teenager and I had an older female cousin, and she was dating a hard-working guy, and, you know, she was at home. She always had company in the house with her girlfriends. He would go to work. He would make money, you know, come home, take care. And I'm watching this because I'm young, but I'm watching an older man trying to learn whatever I can. And what I found out is that temptation can easily happen if someone finds that peace of mind, like that peace. And when a person finds that peace in another place, they will definitely leave where they're at to follow that temptation. Like, he would come home and do all of this. She would never have, you know, she didn't want to straighten up. So that was an argument. She didn't want to cook. What happened was, so a woman on his job wind up taking her man because he's and this other woman over here that was doing a lot of the things that he was seeking. Now, because of that, I've also learned the best way to see a person is not to look at them. Because if you let a person know that you're paying attention to them, they're going to give you the best representation that they can. But if you just sit back and observe a person, they'll tell you everything you need to know. Now, the only thing I disagreed about the brother that was speaking was if I picked her up, I would have dropped her off. But that's me. And the only reason why I would have dropped her off because I want to officially sever our ties where she can't even say, damn, the brother didn't even take me home. So that's just me, but that's my 2 minutes.
That's good. That's good. Okay, before we go on, Robin, there's a movie, because I sent you the link, and I hopefully everyone will look at the movie before we come back the next time. Again, we won't be here next week, but the following week. It's called My First Love. Everything that we're talking about is in that movie. And it is a real to life movie. And I saw it just the other day. And I said, this would be great for people who really want to get married or who are married. Robin, you can go ahead and then I'll go to Keitha. Robin.
I was just going to comment about what you said, that you were interested in someone really good, but this one particular day, they didn't smell so fresh. I think that I probably would have just said, the other day you smelled something, you just smelled so good. That was a real nice fragrance, so, you won't say that I wouldn't tell them that they smell, but I would just mention that you smelled so fresh today, another day, or I love that scent. So try to get to the conversation, because I just don't believe in telling somebody, you just stink today, and you're just trying to get to know them, or you're
right. Okay, you keep going in and out, Robin. So, but we get your point. We get you. Kaylin or Keitha, someone had their hand up.
Oh, I was just going to answer you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. My computer went out. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I was just going to answer your question. What would you do? I said definitely you have to be honest and forthright and let them know, just like Robin was saying, in a respectful way. You don't have to say, oh, you smell or whatever, but definitely I think you go back to what you all have been talking about from the beginning. That's a communication, an honesty, forthright type thing. And I would respect, just like, Lenny, we always talk about, I'd rather tell you than someone else tell you. With Glenn, my husband, same thing. I would say, Glenn, I'm going to tell you because I love you that much to tell you, hey, you need to freshen up, and I'm laughing and just good memories, because he, like the morning breath, he would say, oh, that's gumbo breath, you know, Pat, you know what I'm talking about. Smell like gumbo, you know, but you have to love someone enough to say, hey, you know, let's freshen it up, get it together, you know, even though you are comfortable with one another.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Anyone else?
Me, I got my hand up.
Yes, Kim.
I was going to go back when James was talking about the man that was getting off would come home. It made me think about when I was talking about the showering or you just smelling. Now that's a difference. If he's getting off of work and he work hard and he working outside, that's fine. Because I know, baby, you working hard. I may smell some of the belongings. You know, you getting in the shower and you taking a bath. So that's all I was gonna say. Yeah, it's a different. If somebody just smelling just to be smelling for no reason, because you don't want to take a bath, then okay, we got issues. But you know, if you're working hard, yeah, you know, a little must, you know, yeah, a little must is good.
That's a different story.
It might be okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anyone else before we go on? That was interesting. It was really, but again, keep up the appearances. We're gonna go back to that another time. Tony?
Yeah, you know, even there are some, I know a couple females, gland is called a musk gland. And some people can't control some body odors. But you know, if it's kind of new on a first date, or you know, you need to really, share it with them. Then they can share with you, but I have a gland that I can't control, because I know 2 females that have a gland like that. They smell musky all the time. And I remember I said, Lisa, I said, but every time I notice we together, you always smell a little musty. And you know, I had to tell her because she was smelling musty. My parents said something about it. So I was like, so what's up? And she was saying, I have this gland. I gotta have surgery on it to remove it. It was like a musk gland, you know, but you can I guess I believe in communication. If you can communicate with somebody, you know, if it's on a first date, you know, like I said, the person at birth, you know, that's your choice how you want to handle it. But sometimes things can actually just come out naturally. There was a young lady that my cousin was dating. She was a school teacher, and we was at the house, and we decided we were doing some kind of sit-ups or something. And the girl got down and literally, she was going to sit up, and it just came out, gas. So I said, wow, I said, it's okay. It's a natural body thing. But she was embarrassed, you know, but it just happened. It's a natural function, and it happened. I said, it's okay. We all human. We are adults. So, right. But I know she was embarrassed. But, you know, I wouldn't count her out, you know. But things just happen.
Well, Carlos counted her out. He didn't even take her home. Okay.
Well, to explain that is not an excuse. I was much, much younger, but we had been in a social gathering. We weren't talking to each other then, but I've seen where she has the etiquette. And then for her to just do that, I was taken aback by it. That's just, even if I'm hanging out with the guys, depending upon where we at, you know how some guys, Tony and James can attest to this. If you hanging out with your fellas, and then, okay, y'all on the court, y'all joking around, y'all raise up and bam, let one go. Okay, everybody laughing, ha, ha, ha. But if you're out at a social gathering, come on, guys, you can't be doing that. Because then they're going to look at you like, really, dude? Especially if you get past that certain age.
Right. Okay. Anyone else before we go on? Like I said, we're talking about real things. Okay, Pat.
I want to add,
wait a minute, Pat. Pat, hold on. You keep going in and out. So either it's your machine, it's your computer or something.
Okay. I think it's my Wi-Fi. Am I okay now?
Yes.
Sorry. Now I was going to ask Carlos, did she apologize for the birth? Did she say that it was just something that came out, or did she laugh about it? I just wanted to know,
She laughed about it.
You laugh. Okay. Well, okay. Well, let's go on to the next question. Thank you all for that. Thank you for your honesty. I really thank you for your honesty. Kim, there was a message on there. I think she had to leave. Okay. So the next one is men. Why don't you get it? Now, again, I hope that you watched the movie, but in the movie, and I've heard several women, I'm not talking about the men now, we're talking about women who have said, the reason why I divorced my husband is because he did not hear me. I kept telling him, this is what I needed. And all this woman needed, I'm not gonna give the whole movie away, but all she wanted was for him to pay attention to her, to give her the affection that she needed. He was so busy with his career that he neglected her. And as a result, she felt lonely. And then again, there's somebody else in the picture that comes along. So as far as that is concerned, how is it that a woman can talk to a man time and time again, tell him exactly what she needs, and he doesn't hear it? I'm asking the men. I'm not saying that it's you that have done that. Perhaps you have, but that's the consensus that I get from women, especially those who have been divorced. And I'm just going to be very transparent. Okay. I was one of them. And I'll tell you this, Pastor, he told a story real quick. He said that he had this gentleman to come to his office and tell him that his wife is leaving him. Very affluent man, everything got it going on all around. The wife said, I'm leaving because I just can't take it anymore. He says to the pastor, my former pastor, he says, look, I've given her all that she wanted, the designer clothes, the handbags, the shoes, beautiful home, nice car, everything you can imagine. She has. Why is she divorcing me? And my pastor said to him, she doesn't want those things. She just wants you. If she didn't have anything, she just wants you and your time and your attention. When he told that story, I burst out crying because that was my story. We had I'm just being very transparent. I mean, everything. Keitha can tell you, we had everything. I had everything that I really wanted. Beautiful home, but I did not have the attention that I needed, that I wanted. Not that I needed, but that I wanted. He was so busy giving me the material things that he neglected the emotional part. And that's what that movie is about. So can anybody speak to that? Hello? Keitha?
Well, I think you just basically, for me, I think you kind of touched on it already. The material things and the tangible things is not what you need. Is for me at this stage now, understanding really the priceless things is your time, listening, the laughter, sometimes just sitting silent together. But the tangible things, I just, that's still sensitive for me, but it's just, again, if I could just reiterate, the time that you spend with someone is priceless.
That's right.
Only for a moment, really. All the other things, the material things, that will pass away.
Yep, means nothing.
Yeah.
I appreciate your honesty, Kay. I really do. Thank you. Anyone else?
I just wanted to, since we was talking about that, I actually wrote a play, and then I turned it into a book that's currently on Amazon, and it's called I Just Want to Be Loved Too. And it's talking about all the things that you're talking about. It's a sister in there that actually has a husband that's a music executive. And he just, you know, he didn't have time to spend with her. And he gave her everything. She had credit cards, she'd go and spend, buy whatever she wanted, but she wanted him. And he never had time for her. And he could not understand why she wanted to, you know, it was always an issue. And then he finally got involved with someone that he was managing, somebody at work. And that, yeah, it's in that book, and it talks about all of that. And she just was telling him, she just wanted him. She wasn't looking for all these material things. He was trying to say, well, I give you everything. What is the problem? And she said, but you don't give me your time. So yeah, it was, that's in that book.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else? Thank you, Lisa. Anyone else want to speak on that subject? I think Kachi was going to say something.
Okay. So I was just going to say it's really important because that's one of the things that Tony and I, we've been talking about lately. As far as we used to do like date nights a little bit more often than we do them now, and I think it's important to kind of have that time. I mean, 10-year-old, she'll be 11 in September. So we do some family stuff, but it's important for husband and wife to have their time as well. So we need to do a better job with that, these date nights that we're not scheduling. You know, last year it was a little harder with, with the pandemic and everything like that. But even I was just telling Tony, when you do a date night, it's not necessarily about spending a whole bunch of money. It's just the time, like Kaylin says, it's the time together. Whether it's just going to the park, get an ice cream cone or whatever, but just adult time, not necessarily with having our daughter with us. Of course, we do stuff with her all the time, but you need that one-on-one with your spouse, with your mate. So we need to do a bit better job on that. We used to try to do it at least once a month, sometimes more than that. Sometimes I'm a planner by nature, so he's more spontaneous with things like that. So I have to be prepared that, okay, if he comes and says, let's go do something, not to go like, well, let me check my schedule. But we'll try to be a little bit more spontaneous with that. And also planning them sometimes as well, but just making sure we have those date nights more frequently than what we are having them now, to put them on black with that. So I'll keep you guys posted to see how many dates we get within the next couple of months. But we're just making sure we have that time together, I think it's important.
Okay, good. James, did you have something to say? And then Carlos, and then Robin.
Well, basically what I was going to add on to that was that what I believe early on is that, once again, it goes back to the representation. And what happens, I think, is that you have the man, first of all, for a Black man, I can't speak about any other race, but a Black man, it's a good Black man. It's something in us that we want to give you the world. We want to give you the best that we can give you, and we want to provide for you. And coming now from the representation side, I think that if that woman that person is dating at the time, or seeing, or married, or involved with, if that's what she's grabbing from him at that time, it's setting a trend that's all he knows now. And he feels accomplished with doing just that. So if she starts to sway to say, you know what, all of that's nice, but I no longer want that. I want your time. I don't think he can hear, because I was in a similar situation. I can't lie. I mean, I just wanted to provide and give her everything that, I thought would make her happy. So by the time she was saying, oh, I just want the time, I want the time, I want the time, that was like starting all over again, because this person I didn't know. So I had to learn all over again to try and figure this person out, because it was nice. Everything was good the way it was going, getting everything that you want. So by the time she said that, it was like, now I got to figure this person out. And then that's when the problems actually started kicking in.
Okay. Let me just say something to that, James. Wow. That's interesting, because we're talking about the real talk and the honest talk. So when we're dating someone, do you really, because I heard what you're saying, and maybe I'm wrong, but did you ask the person, did you give the person what you wanted to give her, or what she needed? Because a lot of times people, they give other people things that they think that they would like, but did you take the time to really listen to her as to what she really needed or wanted? And I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why. Excuse me. Just once, Keitha and I, we owned a floral shop. She owns it now. But when I was working in there, the men would come in and they would say, I want a dozen roses. I just met this woman and I want a dozen roses. And I'm like, okay, but what kind of flower does she like? I don't know. All women like roses. No, all women don't like roses. But you're giving her what you think she wants, as opposed to asking her, what kind of flower do you like? And that's the mistake that we make sometimes with people. And then we get upset because they're asking for something else. You didn't hear them the first time, but they've been asking for it, but they've been telling you, you just weren't listening because you wanted to give them what you thought they should have.
And to answer that, you are 100% correct, because it's not all one person's fault. So I know I played a lot of fault at it myself, and I can see your point. But a lot of the things that I'm a very tentative person. Like I do pay attention, and certain things that I would provide her with was things that I thought, you know, from what she would say or her body language would make her happy. Like I knew the perfume, I knew the watch that, you know, she was inquiring about when they first came out. I knew certain things. So I was doing that, saying, you know what, baby, this is my token of, you know, how much I love you and things like that. So what I was saying was not that you're wrong, because I believe you are right. But by the time that came out of the way, and now it was more about just quality time, I had to figure that part out, because I was already down so far down the road of doing it this way.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Carlos.
To piggyback off of what James was saying a little bit, because I too was in that I'm somewhat of what you call a giver. I'm going to ask you what you like, or I'm going to pay attention. Like if we're out and about in a store or something and you inquire about something, like this one, like with this one particular young lady, she was talking about a coat that she saw. So instead of me asking a lot of questions, because I was paying attention to what she was talking with the salesperson, brought the salesperson aside, put that aside for me, and I got it for her birthday. She had no idea. But one question I want to ask the ladies, though, isn't that a two-way street? Because
it is. Hold on, Carlos. Remember, we talked about the rules. Yes, it is a two-way street, but we're talking about men now. We're asking about them. We'll get to the women. Okay,
I just wanted to put that out there, because
we're going to get to that.
Yeah, I believe it is a two-way street, and the emotional, and I believe it's an emotional thing, because you can be the richest man in the world and give a woman all the material things she wants. But if you do not have her mind, you do not have her mentally or emotionally, you're not going to have anything. Because then if her mind is wandering about, okay, well, he's not paying attention to me, and one of those brothers that got serious Mac game, he's going to sit there and listen to what she's saying. Oh, well, he's not doing this for you. He's not doing that for you. And he's going to talk that game where it's going to crack that door for him to get in. But if the man that you're dealing with, if he's on his job, he's already going to have you emotionally and mentally. And mentally could be just conversation. If you can't get your woman on conversation, okay, then everything else is sometimes ice skating uphill.
Right. Well, that's what we're talking about, the conversation part. We have to have the communication and the conversation. Tony, can you speak to that real quick before we go on?
He broke up.
But come back to me.
He says he's a different one.
Come back.
No, I can't come back. I just need for you to go ahead on speaker, else I'm going on to the next subject.
Yeah, we're going to the next subject.
Okay, so you can't speak on that one.
No.
Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Tony. What is so funny? Why is he broke up? Kachi. We can't hear you.
I was muted, so I'm not sure what he's laughing about, to be honest.
Okay.
But yeah. Did you hear the question? Did you hear the question?
I heard the question.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he doesn't want to answer it. That's fine. That's fine. That's your prerogative. Okay, so now we're going on to couples who don't argue.
Can I make a comment?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes, Robert. Yes.
I know we talked about probably a couple of sessions ago about love languages, and I think that kind of hits base on, you know, when you first started talking or communicating, you know, what is that person's love language? Is it gifts? Is it communication? What drives that person? So I think if you have that conversation in the beginning, you know, is it flowers? Is it gifts? Is it, you know, just talking? Is it walks in the park? You know, and you have to have moments that you kind of check in, because that's what Steve and I do. We have moments he was like, okay, what's going on? You know, what you thinking about? You know, most times it's nothing or whatever, but he wants to know, okay, what's on your mind? What's going on? You happy? You know, anything you want, anything. And I'm not a materialistic person. I like to do things. I like, you know, let's spend time, let's go riding a bike. Let's, you know, walk in the park. Let's do things like that. Gifts, I mean, I can get that on my own. It's not a real big deal for me, but I like doing things with the person that I love. That's me. Okay. I'm not, you can get me in a bunch and buying a whole bunch of stuff. That's just never been me.
Wow. Well, that's interesting you brought that up, because we do have a test on love language. Kim is going to bring it up. We're going to give you 5 questions, but then we're going to give you the link that you go online and you finish it up, so that perhaps by next time we meet, everybody would have taken the test. It's very interesting. And it will tell you basically what your love language is. So before we go to that, I just want to know this. Couples who say that they have never had an argument. Never. Can someone speak on that, please? Okay. Hello. Oh, I'm just asking. Okay, so the question is, have you ever had an argument, and can you speak to those people who say that they have never ever argued ever in their relationship, and they could have been married for 10, 15, 20 years and never had an argument? Please speak to people, because they are wondering how they communicate. I mean, how does that happen with no argument? So either, if nobody else
maybe
wants
they
to
don't
say
call
it,
it arguing. Maybe they call it being passionate conversation.
Right, but perhaps then it's either someone who someone is not being honest. Someone is either just pulling back so that the other person can say what they need to say because of sake of argument. What is it that couple says, we have never had an argument?
That ain't me.
You said that's not you?
No.
Okay. Tony?
I think it takes 2 to argue, 2 to tango. One person just can't have an argument by themselves. And yeah, I would be the one that probably would try to create an argument, but I can't do it by myself. So I'm saying that she won't argue with me. But yeah, we have had some disagreements, but to really sit down and, you know, come into an argument, that has never happened. I can't do it by myself. You know, she'll just quickly, you know, say, well, she want to go and pray about it. Well, I don't want you to go pray about it. I want us to get into it for a minute so that we know we're human. But it goes back to the, I mean, as you said before, when I wasn't saying anything, we was talking about the 5 love language. It's normal what a person like and don't like. I know that she doesn't like arguing at all. That's not one of her language. She doesn't, she's more of she's gonna show love and compassion. That's what my wife shows all the time. Yeah, I get upset. I want to argue sometimes. Yeah, I'm real. I'm human, and I'm still trying to figure out sometimes. Well, is she real?
No, I think it's more like what Robin says. It's like, of course, we don't agree on everything. We do not agree on everything. We're two individuals that don't agree on everything. But my thing is like this: I'm not a person that likes to, I guess, be confrontational or argue. I will, of course, speak my opinion about stuff, but in a manner that maybe he doesn't realize he's arguing, having an argument, or we're discussing it in a way that, you know, it's not like, you know, calling names or being, you know, or mean, loud, or being mean about it. Arguing. So, because I don't like people yelling. You know, I've never had. My dad was, I guess, a yeller, if you will, and I've never liked to be around people that do a lot of yelling. So when he's, you know, raising his voice, I remember one of my old bosses. He's like, when you're like having a conversation with a student, when I used to work at a school, he's the louder their voice gets, the lower your voice should get, because the person is going to realize that you're not going to go up there and act a fool or out of character with them. So the louder their voice gets, the lower your voice should get. So when Tony wants to try to, and I can tell when he's trying to have an argument or pick a conversation, I know. So I'm like, you know, I let him go ahead and have his little tantrum, if you will, and do what he needs to do. And then when he's ready to come down and talk, you know, like a, you know, regular, normal person should, you know, we have a discussion about it. So again, it's not about trying to say we don't disagree. We do, but I'm not, I don't have time to be arguing with him or anybody else. So I just choose not to do that.
Okay. So anyone else?
And with that, we haven't really had a knockdown argument or fuss like that. You know, we have disagreements because she won't argue with me. You know, argue with me sometimes.
See, he wants to argue.
I don't get that. I think
my parents did it.
You don't even remember that, right?
Yeah, every Sunday night, right?
Every Sunday night, right?
Yeah, every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. But so break the generational curse. But no, I'm just not trying to do that. I think a lot of, maybe because it's from his past relationships and his parents, he feels that's the, I guess, the only way to communicate. But I guess you've learned a lot in the past 15 years, right? Because that's right. 14. Yeah, 14 years.
Okay. Anyone else before we go on? Okay, Tony had something, we talked about this. Tony, will you tell them about the staying together as a couple? How do you stay together? And if one stays, if one doesn't stay, or one is praying and the other one isn't, how do you address that?
He's forgotten.
We talked about it. I remember, I forgot it.
Okay, he was saying that if you want your marriage to work, and one person is really working at that marriage and doing all that they can to keep it together, but the other person isn't, then all the prayer, and we know that God can intervene at any time. But for the most part, Tony was saying that if they're not working together to keep the marriage together, and only one is, then more than likely that marriage will fall apart. Because you can't, like you said, even with argument, you can't argue by yourself. So trying to keep up the marriage by yourself is sometimes it's just futile. So, is that what you said, Tony?
Yeah, you're right. And basically, you know, it takes two really to work together. You can't do it by yourself. The one person not on your page, it's not going to happen. I mean, already you know whether the relationship is really going to work. You can work at it as hard as you want to because you want it to work, but the other person doesn't put in that time because they're not putting the time because they know they want it to be over with. So it just comes to the point that it's gonna end. So you know that whether you really want it or you don't want it. Like the young lady said last week, she said, I didn't love that man, but she knew already it was dead. You know, you can't revise it. It was gone. So you're going to let it go and die naturally. Take the last breath. The organs are shutting down, but that's where a relationship is. So if you wanted to work, then you would resuscitate it and allow it to live. But it takes two willing vessels to make any relationship work. And if it's, you know whether you want it or don't.
That's good. That's good. And the other thing you were talking about, how to find how to be a wife. Now we can't hear you, Tony. We can't hear you.
If being like a guy versus, oh, God, she's like, you can't hear me.
No, you can't.
Now
we can hear you.
Hello? Everybody's.
Now we can hear you.
I was saying, no, as male, as well as a guy, if you're looking for that spouse, if you're looking for, like I said, a man doesn't look, I mean, if you want to get married, he's not going to look for a girlfriend or a fiance, he's going to look for a wife. And for the females, if you're looking for a husband, carry yourself like a wife. Works the same way. You carry yourself like that because guys are going to watch you and watch your behavior, watch your movements. It's, you know what, that's my wife. You know, and at the end of the day, it may be a short period of time, or even a long period of time, but he knows what he's looking for already. Just like a female know that this is the guy that I want to be my husband. You know exactly what you're looking for. It's there already.
So you're saying to dress and carry yourself like a wife. Tony.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes you can just still hear. Hello?
Your internet keeps going in and out.
Oh, our internet messing up now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. We can hear you.
I thought it was another person in there.
No.
It's yours.
Okay, what about now?
We can hear you.
Yeah. I think he's gone now. Okay. Okay, I was saying, wow, is it still there? Is it, hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. I was basically saying that as a female, that when you're looking for a house, you got to carry yourself like that. Even dress up sometimes. Maybe going to the grocery store. Dress up like you are a wife going in there. And if you think it, believe in it, it will happen. That man will find you. Because he can see, that's my wife. And there's been stories, people walk up to people say, you know, they would start talking, but they know already instantly that is their bride. They know. Okay. So if you're looking, ladies, fix yourself up. Carry yourself like, I'm a wife now. I'm gonna walk in there like I'm a wife, and people are going to watch that.
Okay. Good advice, Tony. Katina, we haven't heard from you hardly. So before we go into the test, do you have anything you would like to add to this conversation?
I just wanted to say thank all of y'all. I needed this. I needed the insight. I needed everything. But I did want to add that relationships are an investment. You have the ones that go, you know, hard. They work hard, whether it's a male, whether it's the woman or what have you. The amount of time that you invest in your job, you have to bring it into the relationship. It's the only way it's going to work. Communication, that's the key. Even on the job, everything that you in the job. If you're a stellar performer at work, it has to carry through the relationship. There's no reason why you have excellent job work ethic, but then your household is a mess. It should carry on. That's my takeaway. And it's not everything is not cookie cutter. Every situation is different. And I just think that, again, communication is key. If you want something bad enough, you're going to work towards it. That's my whole takeaway. But I really needed this insight. I needed you guys. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so glad you came on though, dear. Thank you for being here. Okay, so Kim, are you still there? Do you have the test?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if you will let me share my screen, but first I want to just ask everyone, because we have briefly talked about the love language, but I want to make sure everyone know what are the 5 love languages. Do everybody know what they are? Because I know I have heard some people say, you know, communication and stuff like that, but that's not like really one of them. But it's words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Those are the 5 love languages. So, and everyone has a primary love language, but you also have a secondary love language as well. But everyone have a primary love language. And we have talked about this previous that don't, like, for instance, my love language, I can't use my love language on my husband because that's not his love language. It's not going to work. So when we think of our partner's love language, we got to talk to them in their love language. And that's how it will work. But I'm going to see if I can pull this up.
Okay, so one more time, while you're doing that, Kim, can everybody, and I'm going to go around just asking, can everybody say what they think their love language is? Now, Kim, say it one more time. What is it?
The love language is words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch.
Okay. One more time, so people who are writing, they can get it. One more time, Kim.
Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch.
Okay. Okay, so let's start with Lisa. What do you think your love language is?
Probably acts of service.
Primary. Do your primary.
Your primary,
yes. Acts of service.
Acts of service. Tell us what would that mean to you?
Because I like making people happy. So I try to do things that I know that will make them happy, put a smile on their face. So that's what I do with my hubby.
Okay. Now, is that his love language though?
No.
That's your love language.
Yep.
That's backwards, right, Kim? That's sort of
because she's speaking
he might be acts of service. He might be
go back to what you are. Kim, can you go back to what you are? What do you think?
Now, if she said that she's acts of service, but now she's saying he is acts of service as well. So if that's his primary and your primary, so it's going to work, because is that his, or you don't know for sure?
Yeah, because what he'll do is, if I say something, I don't know, it could be, I want to go to this restaurant or whatever. And then eventually we'll actually go there. Well, I know you wanted to go, so we can go today. We can go to the restaurant. Or if I like a shirt or something, we ride on a Holly all the time. So if I like a shirt at the shop, then he'll go and get matching shirts and just different stuff like that. So
okay.
I think that would be acts of service.
Okay. One, Kim, before you, this is the love language, and that's the quiz.
And I was trying to, I was hoping that it would let me go ahead and click on and at least just start a preview of it, but it's not going to let me do it. But
that's fine, because we don't have a lot of time.
I do have some questions. I did go ahead and pull some questions, but I would let you finish with some of them and try to see. But while y'all doing it, let me go grab my charger because my laptop getting ready to die. Okay, so y'all, you can go around and ask them.
Tony and Kachi, what are your love languages?
Well, my primary is quality time and my secondary is physical touch.
Okay. Tony?
I would say mine first would be physical touch, and my secondary would be words of affirmation. Affirmation. For us. Let me elaborate on those words.
Okay, so you prefer for Kachi to give you words of affirmation.
Yeah,
that's his secondary.
It's my secondary.
Oh, your first one is physical touch.
First is physical, secondary is affirmation.
It's affirmation. Okay. James, how about you?
My primary probably would be words of affirmation, because of my work ethic. I like to think that every so often I'm a little card or something just to say, hey, bro, you're getting it right. You know what I mean? My secondary is definitely quality time in my older age.
Okay, good. Z?
I'm thinking quality time and words of affirmation. Maybe not necessarily in that order, but those are my two, I think.
Okay, great. How about you, Kaylin?
I think that the primary is quality time and the secondary is words of affirmation. Okay. And then I think I give more words of affirmation, but I like receiving quality time.
Okay, all right. Carlos? Where's Carlos? Did he leave?
I'm still here. I'm still here. I would say mine, I guess I would believe from looking at the movie of my life, I would say it would probably be physical touch as the primary, and then secondary as words of affirmation.
Okay. Keitha? And then Tiffany.
My primary would be quality time, secondary physical touch.
Okay, Tiffany?
I would say for receiving, my primary would be quality time and my secondary would be words of affirmation. For giving, my primary would be gifts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As far as you're giving, right?
Yes.
You're giving, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that has been wonderful. Okay, so Kim, are you still on?
Yes, I am. And
we have 10 minutes.
So if you see the link, if I can't pull up the questionnaire itself, but I do have a few of them. But if you go into that, it'll bring up, like if you want to take the love language test, and then once you go in, you're gonna have to go in and it'll ask you if you know, your gender, your age, are you married or in a relationship?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm so sorry, Kim. Kim. I did not get, where is she?
You didn't get Pat. You can't see me?
I didn't get Pat, and I did not get,
oh, okay.
Okay, can you put the screen back, Kim? And what I'll do is I will send the link to everybody once I send this to everybody. So I'm so sorry, I couldn't see you, that's why. Pat, and then Katina.
First of all, let me clarify. My nickname is Pat. For those who don't know, they're asking who's Pat. My first name is Robin. My middle name is Patrice. And they call me Pat.
Okay.
So that y'all know.
But Robin.
My primary would be
okay, Pat, we can't hear you. You may have to go back a little bit because no.
Ask her to put it in the chat if she can.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Okay, so we're gonna wait for you, Robin. We're gonna go to Katina.
Okay, my primary would be acts of service, secondary quality time. I just like making people happy. It makes me happy to make other people's happy. And it's just the quality time, it means a lot. Whatever you do in that small window that you have, you make the most of it. So, yeah.
So your quality time, what's the other one?
The first was acts of service. Little things mean so much to people. Like on my job, you know, I make sure I have at least a balloon or two or something for like birthdays, holidays, or whatever. And because you don't know if they're getting that affirmation at home or what have you, but it's the little things. So yeah, I like it.
Okay. Pat, you said quality time. You typed in quality time?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's the other one? We may be able to hear you. You just keep going in.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, this has been wonderful. So what we're going to do is we're going to end on that note. It is, we have 7 minutes. Please, if you can, watch the movie because we are going to discuss it. I'm pretty sure you'll find yourself in there somewhere along the line in that movie. I know that I did. And I know that the people that I spoke with said the same thing. As far as next week, like I said, we won't be here next week. We'll catch up the following week. I appreciate all of you all coming on. Katina, God bless you, honey. I'm so thankful that you came on, and I'm glad that we are able to help. I want to get to know everybody to get to know each other. So before we go, we do have 7 minutes, so that's great. Can everybody go around and just tell a little bit about yourself? Because eventually I want to bring everybody together. It will be the Ice Cream Marriage social event. And I want to have this wonderful get together with all of us. So if we kind of know each other now, then when we get together, we just won't be strangers. So James, let's start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about you and just give me like half a minute?
Well, my name is James Freeman. I'm a father of 6 beautiful children, 5 by 1 woman in New York and 1 with my ex-wife in Georgia. Blessed with 2 grandchildren. I'm the owner and operator of Pressure Kings Power Washing located in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I'm also the founder of Black Link, which is Black-owned, basically yellow pages. We advertise and promote Black businesses. I'm also a promoter of and founder of Skin Tight, which is basically awareness for people of color. Hard worker, very caring person. And if God blesses me with my life, I'll be 53 this upcoming Thursday on July 1st.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah. Happy birthday.
Thank you, everyone. I just love people and I enjoy this room. Thank you.
Well, we enjoy you having you on, James. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate you. Keitha?
Hi, I'm Keitha Britt Stevens. Let's see, what can I say? Lenette is my sister. Kaylin is my daughter. Robin Freeman is my sister-in-law. I was married for 30 years. And different journey, but I'm thankful that you all have embraced me in this journey, and it has helped me. And I just appreciate the time that I have and the times that I have had with my husband, Glenn, for 30 years. So this platform right here, like I said, has been encouraging for me. And I just thank you all for your prayers and the support that I have.
Okay. So you always, when she cries, I cry.
I know, I'm like, oh God.
Yes,
and
yes,
not to cry. I'm trying not to, but you know, it gets better. It gets better. It has gotten better. Yeah. It's better.
Okay. Kaylin. Thank you, Kay.
Yeah. I'm Kaylin. I'm 25. I'm in the middle of a life transition. I took a break from reporting and journalism, so I'm trying to get back into that. I took a 3-month break. So, yeah. Oh, and I'm single as well.
Okay. Okay. Lisa?
I'm Lisa Banks Bailey. I am a mother of 2 beautiful daughters, 1 granddaughter. Very, very proud of my kids and my granddaughter. I am a playwright. I am an author. I am a business owner. I'm currently starting a new business called Speak It to Life. And it's a business that I personalize different things like masks. I do keychains. I do cups, shirts, prayer boxes. I do a little bit of everything. So that's me.
Do you have anything right now, Lisa, to show? Because like I said, we are going to be doing this from now on. But I had called her earlier just to let people know what she does.
It's a bag. It's like a makeup bag. It's called Lady Things. essentials. I do makeup bags. You can see that.
She does beautiful work, guys. I'm telling you. It's
key rings right now. I have them personalized key rings. If you turn around like so.
Oh, that's fine.
I do everything, don't I? I can.
Yes.
She does.
Do stockings for Christmas. I do lanterns, personalized lanterns.
Pillows.
And gift boxes.
Pillows.
Yeah. Pillows.
I have a prayer box that I do, and it's just mostly, it has a journal in it. It has a book that's almost like a devotional, where you every day is something that you would read, a subject, and it also may have Bible verses in it, but it's something for you to spend time, sit and spend time with, you're building your relationship with God. Okay. So that's it.
Okay. Well, like I said, the week after, if everybody, I'll get with you, whoever wants to come on and just promote your business, I'll be more than happy to help you and to do so, because we need to help each other. Katina, may I hear from you?
The mother of a 32-year-old son, proud mother, to say the least. I'm very family oriented. I love people. I just got out of a long-term relationship, so I'm just learning who I am, reinventing myself, looking for just starting a new chapter in my life. I know I work in a law firm that's really not who I am, but I think it's just a little pit stop to where I'm supposed to be. I have too much creativity to be where I am now. So I'm just trying to reinvent myself. That's where I am now. And thanks again for allowing me to be on this in this platform. I love all of the ideas, your views, your viewpoints, and just being vocal and transparent. Thanks all of you. And thanks for inviting me, Lenette.
Yes, indeed. Is dark, I don't know. She looks like she's 32. She doesn't even look like she would have a 32-year-old.
No, I'm almost 50. Oh, I'm almost 50, but
I'm telling y'all, she really does not. I thought she was in her 30s. You shocked me, because I really thought you were in your 30s.
Okay, thank you.
That's a good thing.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yes. Tony?
Okay, hi. I work for a nonprofit. They're out of Washington, D.C. I'm a regulatory specialist with them and a corporate trainer. And basically what we're helping colleges and universities understand financial aid. So we're training the aid administrators that work in the colleges and universities across the United States on how to process financial aid, making sure students are getting, the types of aid that they qualify for. And so that's my main job. And I'm a mother of an almost 11-year-old preteen in her mind. And the wife of this knucklehead right here. This a little fur baby that she likes to get. Kate is almost 4. No, she's 4. She'll be 5 in December. So that's who I am. Who are you?
I'm the proud man of this beautiful woman right here. This is my baby. But wait, my name is Tony Vaughn. This is my beautiful wife, Kachi. We have a beautiful daughter named Kyler. And I am an entrepreneur. I have a restaurant at Halifax Community College in North Carolina, a community college, and I do table etiquette also. And then I have on the side, I have a food truck that I enjoy a lot on weekends. Well, I have several food trucks I enjoy working on a lot of weekends. And then I also have a popcorn business. If you like popcorn, the name of the company is Just Popping Around. So definitely on the internet as well. And guess that's really about it for me.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Yes. Z,
Yeah.
thank you, Tony. Thank you, Kachi. Z.
My name is Zelda Austin. Most people call me Z. I'm from DC, and I've been down here for probably almost 11 years. I love the arts, just about all things art related. Going to shows and being creative and everything like that. And I'm a grandmother. I have one son and one granddaughter. And that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah, that's not it. Let me tell y'all something. This woman, that woman, she is an awesome seamstress. When I am talking about clothing that you would see, that you would think that she got out of the store, out of Saks Fifth Avenue. That's how she sews. So don't play yourself short, okay? Yeah. And we're going to show her creations as well. She's very, very talented. So, Carlos, thank you, Z.
Thank you. My title is C. Frederick Childs. I like using that because it just flows a little bit better, but my government name is Carlos. I am a senior information technology specialist, been doing that for almost approximately 40 years. I would want to ask you all for your prayers as I get ready to transition in another part of my life. I will be relocating back to the state of Maryland. I miss my home. So I'll be moving back there, and I'm very, very proud of my three cousins, Lisa being a cousin-in-law, Lenette, and published author, as well as Kiefer as an entrepreneur. So I am very proud of all three of them, you included, Kayla. I'm proud of all four of these ladies. And like I said, just be in prayer for me that everything will go correctly, because one of the mottos of my life, and I may need you to put this on a t-shirt too, Lisa, ice skating uphill. Because I know I'm gonna get questions about it. Like, what is ice skating uphill? You can't ice skate uphill. That's the story of my life. So everything is me, sometimes me ice skating uphill. So I know when I get to the top of that hill, it was worth it.
Very good. Thank you, Carlos. Tiffany.
Hello again. My name is Tiffany Alston. I am Zelda's niece. She was being very modest earlier. There's so much I can say about her, but I'll say that later. In terms of me, I am a DC native. I've lived in DC my whole life, which has been 38 years. Actually on the same block my whole life. I work at a museum here in DC. I've worked in retail / customer service for over 20 years. I did graduate college with a bachelor's degree. My major was fashion design and my minor was I had a double minor, which was fashion merchandising and business. I, like my aunt, love to craft, and like Miss Lisa, love crafting, anything fashion related. At the moment, I am not specifically working on any projects in terms of design, but I'm working on getting back into that soon. Officially starting a business, so I still have some work to do. And I also love reading and writing poetry. So yeah, that's me.
That's you. Great. Thank you, Tiffany. She's an awesome young lady. She really is. Thank you. And so is my niece, Kaylin. She really, all of them, both of them, just wonderful. Kim, let's hear from you.
Let me bring this up right quick. I want to make sure, because I did get a direct message that the love language that you all were saying what your primary is. I just want to make sure everybody's clear. Your mate or whoever you date, and that's what you want them to do for you. That's your love language. I don't know if everybody, I want to make sure everyone is clear on that part. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure it's clear. Just like if your mate love language is acts of service or whatever the case, that's what you want to do to, for them. So I just want to make sure everybody was clear. Okay, well, me, my name is Kim Marilyn. I am married. My husband is Anthony Marilyn. I have one son. He's 27 years old. He's my only son, my big baby. He actually just turned 27. I work in, I'm a group home director, QP, which means qualified professional. So when I just tell people that just means I can sign off on state paperwork and just do treatment plans. I've been there, I've been doing it, I've been on my job for 20 years. I've been doing that particular work for about 17 years. And I have a bachelor's degree in human services management, and I have a master's degree in marriage family therapy. I also have my own coaching business, which is called Stages of Purple Inspirations, Rebuilding and Restoring Relationships. I do one-on-one coaching, premarital coaching. I do courses and things like that. So that's basically the logistic of what I do. So I guess that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you, Kim. And last but not least, Miss Robin.
Hi, all. My name is Robin. Stevens is my maiden name, Freeman. I've been married to my husband, Steve, which you all know, for, I think this year will be 25 years, I think. We have a daughter, Sydney, and will soon be, I'll soon be first-time grandma soon. I think by the end of this year. I work at NASA Langley Research Center. I've been there about 20 years. And I have a master's degree in HR management. I do the certification tracking of all the safety personnel and do web management in the safety office for NASA. That's what I've been doing for the past years. And I'm actually getting ready to get into real estate, flipping houses. That's something I've always wanted to do, passionate about. So I've been looking into that, and I think I know within the next few months, that is what I want to do. That's something I want to do. So my husband's retired. He's retired from.
Okay, she went out.
British shipyard. After I think it was 42 years. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
My husband retired from Newport Shipyard after 42, and he does a lot of little jobs and stuff, and manage a apartment complex there. We just do a lot of little things. So that's some of the things that we're busy doing. And he has we have collectively 3 daughters and 2 additional grandsons. He has two older daughters. One is 38 and the other is 27. So that's our life.
Okay. Well, this is beautiful, guys. Like I said, we will one day hopefully get together in person and we can just fellowship.
James had his hand up.
Oh, James, yes.
I wanted to ask something to the gentleman, Tony, who said he had a food truck. I'm not sure if he's in the Rocky Mount, North Carolina area, but someone posted an advertisement for a food truck earlier for an event that's coming up in August.
Tony?
Gotcha. So are you in Rocky Mount as well?
Well, what I'll say to make it real easy for you, Lenette has my sister's number. Lenette, can you give him Stacy's number? If you call my sister, explain to her about the food truck, she'll already know.
Yeah, he's in Brooklyn. So, but I'll give you the number, Tony. Yeah, I'll give you the number.
I was born and raised in East New York, Brooklyn.
Okay.
But I will get you the number, Tony. Thank you.
Gotcha.
All right, so guys, thank you once again. This has been wonderful. We did not finish the third, I think it was 4 topics. We only got to 2, but that's okay. it's just more for to come. So I thank you again for being on. It's been a pleasure. And I will see you not next week, but the week after. Okay. Everybody, goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Lenette, I'm gonna get ready to run. I'll be right back. I need to go do something right quick.
Okay.
Am I staying?
Where's Z? Is Z leave?
She's there. No, she's there.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, stop recording that.